Well, here I am, and we're waiting for the boat survey. Can you believe it? It's been pushed back again because of weather. Now it's set for the first Thursday in March, which is 2 weeks away. Oh my gosh. So, we're looking at other things. We're doing other things, getting ready in other ways, because it is what it is, and, no use complaining. So, I want to talk about today a comment that I received from a well-meaning sailor, and this is what the comment said. You seem to be a real fool. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have experience in sailing, and things aren't going to work for you because you don't know what the hell you're doing. And of course, I was first kind of offended at that. But one of the things that my wife helps me with is we like to kind of stop and think. Because even something that we consider to be offensive, we have to ask ourselves, is it true? And so I thought about that, and this is what I came up with. Yes, I agree with you. I am a fool. The fool. At first glance, that might seem like an insult, but let's reconsider the fool. It may actually be a compliment. Here's a classic depiction of a fool in an old historic card deck. As you can see, the fool is just kind of skipping along. He looks open-minded, open-hearted, looks young. He's innocent like a child. And of course, there's the little faithful dog. And barking him a warning. And he's about to just step off the cliff. He's not really looking where he's going, but he seems happy and he's carrying his staff. Maybe he thinks he has enough provisions for his journey. But the fool is maybe not so foolish after all. Even so, even the fool's clothing looks a little impractical, doesn't it? In fact, everything about the journey seems a bit unpractical. But on closer look, let's think about what he's doing. The fool may be called a fool by other people, but he's choosing. He's making a choice. And there have been some great fools throughout history. There's been many a fool on a hill. Because the fool is also the hero. Luke Skywalker in the original series, he was a fool. He doesn't know what he's up against. He's been warned against it, but he's innocent and he's got faith and he's going to move forward. So the fool actually can become the hero. And of course the hero is the main person who inspires us in all the great works of literature. But it's not just literature. It's also an archetype for the human spirit. It's a symbol for those that want to live life and take a risk or stay safe and secure and not do anything. So the fool can be a hero, but you never can become a hero if you don't have the faith to start your journey. One of my favorite movies is the Indiana Jones. The last one, he's in a position too where he's on a hill. And he's about to take a big fall, isn't he? But there's something about the innocence and the purity of the fool when he believes what he's doing. Does it really matter that there are dogs nipping at his heels, warning him, telling him to beware? No, because others may fall that don't have faith, but if he believes in what he's doing, something good is going to happen. Of course, it's not just in literature that this is true. Literature just reflects dynamics of history and of the human heart. One of my favorite fools is George Washington. There's that fool on the hill. He's got a ragtag army. He's outnumbered. He's fighting against the greatest military force of the time. And yet, he had a faith, didn't he? He was innocent. He had an innocent faith like a child. And things worked out good for him, didn't it? Yeah. In fact, I think he won because Providence must have smiled upon him because he pretty much won by avoiding battles with the British. So the fool on the hill represents the person who's going to choose to live life and take that risk. In fact, my greatest hero was a fool on the hill. He looked down at that city and like the dogs barking, telling him not to go, his best friend Peter said, "Don't go, don't go." And of course, that fool did go. And yes, he did wind up on a worse hill, but that's not the end of the story. The fool on the hill knows what he's doing. But all the good things I've ever gotten in my life is because I took a risk, took a gamble. And sometimes those gambles, didn't pay out, and there was hurt. But more often than not, those gambles did pay off. And that's how I want to live my life. And that's how I want to encourage you to think about too. Is there something in your life that you don't want to be a fool about? You don't want others to consider you to be foolish, but it's in your heart. You won't be satisfied until you step out and do it. So here's to you. Here's to all the fools out there. May you have the faith to see your dreams come true.